Hi, I'm Bob Richardson. I practice Social Security disability law. And I'd like to talk to you about what you can do to most help you win that Social Security disability claim you're thinking about. Now, the number one thing is to have good medical records, because that's what most of the judges and the Social Security Administration advisors look at when they're trying to determine whether or not to grant your claim. And there's several things you can do to improve the quality of those records. Number one, you need to be going to your doctor on a regular basis, at least 1 to every 3 months. So be sure to make those visits, and if you have to break an appointment, keep a good relationship with your doctor, give him good notice that you can't be there, and tell him why. Now, when you go in to see your doctor, you should bring with you a list of problems you've been having since the last visit. And to get that list, keep a legal pad or just a pad of paper of any kind at different places around the house, and a pencil or pen with it. That way, when you're having trouble with your back when you try to get up, you can make that notation as to when it was and what day and what time and what you were doing. You have trouble when you tried to bring the groceries in for your wife in the kitchen. Write it down on that pad. Things of that nature, so that you can tell that to the doctor when you get into the doctor's office, so the doctor understands the problem that you're having. So those are some things you can do. The other thing, so that your medical records are going to look good for you, take your prescribed medication. If the doctor says you need to take medication, the judge isn't going to like it if you're not on your medication, because he may think you'd be okay if you weren't on that medication. Other things that you can do to improve that medical record, and this is something that happened several times when we couldn't figure out what was going on, because the medical records were saying the patient is fine, and the judges were hanging on those entries, even though there were a lot of other problems. That patient says he's fine. We finally figured out what was happening in these cases. What was happening is when the patient went into the doctor's office and they took him into the little room, and then the nurse or the physician's assistant would come in with a clipboard and say, "Oh, hi, how are you, Mr. Smith?" And Mr. Smith, thinking that was a greeting, would be polite and say, "Fine." Well, actually, he's not fine. That is just a polite greeting. But that doctor's assistant wrote that down on the record. Then, when she left, she gave that to the doctor. He read that walking into the room, so he saw fine, and he assumed there wasn't any big problem, so he didn't even spend but 5 minutes with him, and bang, he's out, and in the record, patient says he's fine. Judge sees it, case gone. So those are some of the most important things you can do when you're trying to win your Social Security disability claim. Keep that good relationship with your doctor. And if you have questions, I want you to call me, 472-5100. Have a nice day. Thank you.